The word Viking often conjures up images of fierce warriors sailing on longboats, raiding coastal settlements. These images, while partially true, represent a simplified and often misleading picture of Norse civilization. The Vikings, hailing from Scandinavia, were far more than just raiders. They were skilled seafarers, traders, artisans, and explorers. Their culture was rich in storytelling, mythology, and artistic expression. This essay aims to delve beyond the stereotypes, exploring the myths and realities of the Vikings and their lasting impact on history. For centuries, popular culture has portrayed Vikings as brutal barbarians. This one-dimensional view overlooks their complex society, innovative spirit, and far-reaching influence. Vikings were skilled shipbuilders, their long ships capable of navigating vast distances. This maritime prowess enabled them to explore new lands, establish trade routes, and, yes, engage in raiding. However, raiding was just one facet of Viking activity, often driven by economic necessity or political ambition. To label them solely as barbarians ignores the sophistication of their culture and the legacy they left behind. It is crucial to approach the study of Vikings with a critical eye, separating fact from fiction. Many misconceptions surrounding Vikings stem from biased accounts written by their enemies or exaggerated tales passed down through generations. By examining archaeological evidence, analyzing surviving texts, and considering multiple perspectives, we can gain a more balanced understanding of these fascinating people. Only then can we appreciate the true complexity of Viking society and their indelible mark on the world. The Viking Age, spanning from the 8th to the 11th centuries, saw Norse influence spread across Europe and beyond. While Viking raids are well documented, raiding was not their only motivation. Vikings sought wealth, resources, and political power. They also established peaceful trading relationships. Trading posts and settlements were established as far as Constantinople and the Caspian Sea. Vikings traded furs, timber, and walrus ivory for silver, silk, and spices. This trade brought wealth and new ideas to Scandinavia. Viking raids were often calculated strategies. They aimed to gain political power and secure advantageous positions. Vikings formed alliances with other groups and rulers. Their acumen allowed them to establish kingdoms and influence politics across Europe. Perhaps the most enduring myth surrounding the Vikings is the image of them wearing horned helmets. This iconic image, popularized in modern media and often associated with barbarity, is historically inaccurate. There is no archaeological evidence to support the claim that Vikings wore horned helmets in battle. In fact, such helmets would have been impractical and even dangerous in combat, hindering their movement and providing no real protection. The origin of this myth can be traced back to ancient Roman accounts describing Celtic and Germanic tribes, some of whom did adorn their helmets with horns or animal motifs for ceremonial purposes. This association of horns with barbarian cultures might have been transferred to the Vikings in later centuries. Additionally, depictions of Vikings wearing horned helmets appear in some Wagnerian operas and 19th century Romantic art, further cementing this image in the popular imagination. The persistence of the horned helmet myth highlights the power of cultural stereotypes and the enduring influence of popular representations. While visually striking, this image ultimately detracts from a nuanced understanding of Viking culture. It reinforces the misconception of Vikings as savage and uncivilized, obscuring their achievements in art, craftsmanship, and exploration. Instead of focusing on inaccurate portrayals, it is more fruitful to explore the evidence we have regarding actual Viking helmets. Archaeological finds suggest that Viking helmets were typically simple and conical in shape, made from leather or iron. These helmets provided practical protection in battle without the unnecessary embellishment of horns. The Vikings were skilled artisans, creating intricate objects reflecting their cultural values and beliefs. Viking art, with its intricate designs and zoomorphic motifs, offers insights into their mythology and daily life. From metalwork to rune stones, Viking artistry shows their creativity and mastery of materials. Wood carvings on ships, sleds, and household items are distinctive forms of Viking art. These carvings often depict Norse mythology, featuring gods and mythical creatures. Viking metalwork, especially jewelry and weaponry, is renowned for its craftsmanship and beauty. Brooches, swords, and helmets featured elaborate decorations, highlighting their value and symbolism.